So we are in the general ledger accounting interest calculations. Yesterday, when I explained one step, there was a lot of disturbance from nearby panels. So I disconnected the class. So yesterday we have defined time dependence. Right? So let me check the time dependent terms again.
Lakshman sir, this is Ravi here.
Yeah.
Do you mind quickly recapping that time-dependent interest calculation one more time?
Sorry?
I mean, can you recap, revise one more time quickly?
Yeah. Okay.
Thank you.
See, I think yesterday I have given wrong identification. Right? First, interest indicator, let me check. Financial accounting, general ledger accounting, business transactions, bank account interest calculation, global settings, define interest calculation types. BD. Yeah, we have defined BD interest indicator SSK. Right? Then in the time dependent terms, BD1, credit interest. Okay. Here, this is the mistake what I have done. Somebody has noticed this and gave me the message on WhatsApp. Right? So this is BD1. So reference rate of interest, second term is BD1. Click on save. So here, what is reference rate of interest? So somebody is asking, who is that? Who is that asking? Ravi.
Ravi, yeah, that's me.
Okay. See, here we have taken one term loan on 1st January 2018, right? And every month installment is 10,000. And the installment is paid on 1st of every month, right? So we have taken a loan of 1 lakh. So that is posted to credit side of term loan account. And we have paid the first installment. And the first installment we have paid on 1st February 2018. So after that, we did not pay any installment to the bank. So in this case, with these two transactions in the SBI term loan account, I want to know what is the total amount. Sorry, what is the total amount of interest we have to pay up to 31st December 2018. Normally, we calculate interest like this. On 1st January 2018, we have received a loan of 1 lakh, out of which on 1st February 2018, you have repaid 10,000. So from the period 1st January 2018 till 31st January 2018, that is for 1 month, right? How many number of, sorry, that is for 1 month, we have used total 1 lakh, right, Ravi?
Yeah, got it.
So on 1 lakh for 1 month at the rate of 12%, right? So 1 lakh into 1 by 12 into 12 by 100, which comes to 1,000 rupees. Then on 1st February 2018, you are repaid 10,000, right? Means from 1st February 2018 till 31st December 2018, that is for 11 months, we have used only 90,000 from the bank. So on 90,000 for 11 months at the rate of 12% interest, right? We have to pay. So 90,000 into 11 by 12 into 12 by 100, which comes to 9,900 rupees. So 1,000 rupees plus 9,900, total interest you have to pay 10,900. This is normally we calculate interest, but SAP calculates the interest in a different way. SAP calculates the interest on the credit items of the term loan separately and on the debit items of the term loan separately. Why I will tell you. Here, this term loan account is just similar to bank account. So in the bank account, debits are deposits, because when we deposit anything into the bank, we debit the bank account, right? Similarly, credits or withdrawals, because when we withdraw anything from the bank, we credit the bank account. So credits or withdrawals. On the withdrawals, we have to pay interest to the bank, and on the deposits, we have to receive interest from the bank. So SAP calculates interest separately and debit items and credit items, and net interest is posted. See here, we have withdrawn 1 lakh from the bank on 1st January 2018, right? So from 1st January 2018 till 31st December 2018, that is for 1 year, right? You have to pay interest to the bank for 1 year at the rate of 12%. That is 1 lakh on 1 lakh for 12 months. 1 lakh into 12 by 12 into 12 by 100, which comes to 12,000 rupees. This interest you have to pay. Interest paid means what? Expense, right? So expense means according to nominal accounting principle, all expenses are debited, right? So SAP calls this as debit interest. Okay. Then we have repaid 10,000 on 1st February. So on this repayment, bankers will give us interest. So on 10,000 for 11 months. 10,000 into 11 by 12 into 12 by 100, which comes to 1100 rupees. So this is called, this interest you have to receive. This 1100 we have to receive. Right? This is called credit interest. Receive means revenue, revenue means credit. So 12,000 you have to pay, 1100 you have to receive. So what the net interest you have to pay? 10,900 rupees. Whatever may be the way of calculation, the interest amount to be paid is same. Here, why SAP calculates the interest separately on debit items and credit items? Because normally the bankers will charge the same rate of interest, and they allow the same rate of interest on repayments also. But sometimes there may be a need to charge a different rate of interest on the debit items and credit items. Suppose, for example, right, you have taken one term loan from HSBC Bank, and the HSBC Bank is charging 12% on the withdrawals, and they are allowing only 11% on the repayments. Right? In that case, there should be the facility to apply different rate of interest on debit items and credit items. Right? That's why SAP calculates interest separately at debits and credits, and the net interest is posted. Here, the rate of interest is separate for credit items, right? Reference rate of interest BD1, 12%. For the credit interest, reference rate of interest is BD2, 11%, right? And these interest rates will have the validity period. That's why these are called time-dependent terms. Clear for everybody? So this step we have done already. Very clear?
Yeah. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Enter interest values. Enter interest values. Path is same as enter interest values. Time-dependent terms table name. Right now, time-dependent terms table name. I think anyhow, check it. T056A2. Time-dependent terms table name T056A2. Now enter interest values. Table name T056P. Table name T056P. So here we have defined time. We have defined reference rate of interest, right? But we have not yet assigned the actual rate of interest. So enter interest values. Path is same as it. Click on new entries. Reference rate of interest is equal to BD1. Valid from 1/4/2022. Interest rate is 12%. Suppose you have 11% rate of interest, right? For that, we have defined BD2 also, right? Write down here again. Reference rate of interest is equal to BD2. Valid from 1/4/2022. Interest rate 11%. Click on save. Now, creation of interest account. When the interest is calculated, the system will debit the interest account, right? And it will credit the term loan account. So we have to create these two GL accounts. Creation of interest account. Transaction code FS00. Here, let us check the account groups. See, we have an account group interest, right? The defined number range is 4,400,000 to 4,499,000. So I am taking 4,400,000. GL account is equal to 4,400,000. Company code SSKV. Go to menu GL account, create. Account group is interest. Account group is interest. Select P&L statement account. Short text is equal to interest account. GL account long text is also interest account. Go to control data tab. Account currency INR. Select only balances in local currency. Select line item display. Sort key 001. Then go to create bank interest tab. Field status group G001. Click on save. Now let us create term loan account. Creation of term loan account. Transaction code is not there. FS00. Save. So term loan is part of your secure loans. We have an account group secure loans. Defined number range is 1,300,000 to 1,399,000. So I'm taking 1,300,000. GL account is equal to 1,300,000. Company code SSKV. Go to menu GL account, create. The account group is secure loans. Select balanced account. Short text is equal to HSBC term loan account. Short text is equal to HSBC term loan account. GL account long text is also HSBC term loan account. Go to control data tab. Account currency INR. Select only balances in local currency. Select line item display. Sort key 001. Then go to create bank interest tab. Field status group G001. Then interest indicator. See, interest calculation information in the company code. Interest indicator is BD. Click on save. Now, how the system will be able to apply 12% rate of interest on this term loan account, right? Some space is here, no? Please write down there. We have assigned the actual rate of interest 12%. We have assigned the actual rate of interest 12% to the reference rate of interest BD1 to the reference rate of interest BD1. Full stop. The reference rate of interest BD1. The reference rate of interest BD1 was linked to debit interest and credit interest terms. Was linked to debit interest and credit interest terms under the interest indicator BD. Under the interest indicator BD. Full stop. The interest indicator BD. The interest indicator BD was assigned in the HSBC term loan account. HSBC term loan account. Master account. With the help of these links, with the help of these links, the system will apply 12% rate of interest on the debit items, and the credit items of the term loan account. Look at the screen. Here we have assigned interest indicator in the HSBC term loan, right? In the HSBC term loan, we have assigned the interest indicator BD, right? Now, here see, enter interest values, right? So in this step, we have assigned 12% rate of interest to the BD1 reference rate of interest, right? Then, in the time dependent terms, we have defined two terms, right? See, we have assigned 12% to the BD1, right? Then this BD1 was linked to credit interest balance interest calculation. Credit interest means interest on debit items of the term loan, right? And this link is established under the interest indicator BD, right? Then the BD interest indicator was assigned in the term loan account. So on the debit balances of the HSBC term loan, the system will apply 12% rate of interest. Till now clear? Similarly, we have defined another term, right? Sequence number 2. So again, we have linked 12% to the reference rate of interest BD1. And the BD1 was linked to debit interest balance interest calculation. Debit interest means interest on credit items of the term loan, right? And this link is provided. This link is provided under the interest indicator BD, right? And the BD interest indicator was assigned in the term loan account master account. So on the credit items of this term loan, the system will apply 12%. Suppose on the debit items, right? On the debit items, suppose if you want to charge 11%, you assign BD2. But normally on the debit items and credit items, bankers will charge same amount of interest. Clear, no? If you understand these links, right? You can configure for any number of term loans. Okay. Now, I have given you the example of only one term loan, but in real time, right, the companies may have number of term loans. In that case, right, how to configure? For example, we have taken 4 term loans from 4 banks. We have taken one term loan from HSBC Bank. Then you maintain one master record, HSBC term loan account. Again, we have taken another term loan from American Express Bank. So we maintain another master record, American Express Bank loan account. Then we have taken another loan from Citibank. You maintain another master record, Citibank loan account and ICICI Bank loan account. But here, HSBC Bank is charging 12% rate of interest. American Express Bank is also charging 12% rate of interest, right? Citibank is charging 13% and ICICI Bank is charging 13.5%. This is the situation, right? See, normally, right, for every rate of interest, we define one interest indicator and one reference rate of interest. I told you to write these points also. For every rate of interest, we maintain a separate interest indicator and reference rate of interest, right? Then we assign, suppose, say for example, we have created 3 rates are there, no? So 3 interest indicators, PQ, PR, and PS. Then 3 different rate of interest, right? P1, P2, and P3. So we assign 12% rate of interest to the reference rate of interest to P1, right? And the P1 is linked to debit interest and credit interest terms under the interest indicator PQ. And the PQ interest indicator is assigned in the HSBC term loan account. Now, American Express Bank is also charging same rate of interest, right? In that case, in the American Express Bank term loan account also, we can assign PQ interest indicator. Then for 13%, you define one reference rate of interest to P2 and also interest indicator PR. In that case, 13% is assigned to reference interest rate P2, right? Then P2 is linked to debit interest and credit interest terms under the interest indicator PR. And the PR is assigned in the Citibank loan. Then again, 13.5%, another reference rate of interest, P3. 13.5% is linked to reference rate of interest P3. This P3 will be linked in the debit interest and credit interest terms under the interest indicator PS. And the PS is assigned in the ICICI Bank term loan. So system will apply the respective rate of interest on the respective term loan accounts. I think it's clear to everybody. Now, assignment of accounts for automatic postings. Why? What is automatic postings? When the user executes the transaction code, the system itself will calculate the interest. So it calculates interest. Again, it will post accounting entries automatically, right? So for that, it should know which account is to be debited and which account is to be credited, right? For that, we assign the GL accounts. See, when the interest is calculated by the system, the entry to be posted is debit interest account, credit HSBC term loan account. So this entry is posted by the system automatically. This entry is posted by the system automatically, right? Then, when we repay the term loan, say for example, installment is 10,000. When we repay this term loan, we debit HSBC term loan account, credit to bank account. So this entry is posted manually, or we can use the recurring document functionality. Okay, then when you pay 10,000, it includes 2 parts. Some amount towards interest. Some amount is reduced by the bank towards the interest. Remaining amount is reduced by the bank towards the principal, right? That means this installment amount contains 2 parts, interest part and the principal part. So when you pay 10,000, interest part is paid, right? And principal part is also paid, right? So these are 2 business transactions included here. In the repayment of term loan, actually it implies 2 business transactions. What is that? Interest paid and the principal paid. So each business transaction is identified with one symbol. Interest paid is identified with the symbol 0002. and principal paid is identified with the symbol 2000. And these symbols are already defined in the system. So for these symbols, we assign the GL accounts. Symbol 0002, interest account we assign. Then symbol 2000, we assign the GL account, term loan account. This is called automatic account assignments. Right? So SPRO. Otherwise, OBB2. See, click on symbols. So these are the symbols. 0002 interest paid, 2000 GL account paid. Click on accounts. Chart of accounts is equal to SSKV. Click on enter. Account symbol 0002 means interest paid, right? Currency INR. GL account 4,400,000. GL account 4,400,000. Within brackets, interest account. Account symbol 2000. GL account paid. Within brackets, GL account paid. Do one thing. Account symbol 0002 is there, no? Within brackets, interest paid. Within brackets, interest paid. Then account symbol 2000 is there, right? Within brackets, GL account paid. Or principal paid. So account symbol 2000, currency INR, GL account 1,300,000. But in the material, I have given all pluses, right? Why? Here, say you have taken 50 term loans, right? Then we have to pay interest on all the, sorry, we have to calculate interest on all the 50 term loans, compulsory. So when on any term loan, if the interest is calculated, the account to be debited is only interest account. But the account to be created is what? Respect to term loan account. Means if the interest is calculated on the first term loan, entry to be posted is interest account data to first term loan account. When the interest is calculated on the second term loan, entry to be posted is interest account data to second term loan account. When the interest is calculated in the third term loan, interest account data to third term loan. Like that, when the interest is calculated in the 50th term loan, entry to be posted is interest account data to 50th term loan account. Right? That's why it is enough to assign only one GL account for interest paid. But for the GL account paid, we have to assign 50 accounts here. Like what? Account symbol 2000, currency INR, GL account 1,301,000. Similarly, account symbol 2000, currency INR, GL account 1,302,000. Account symbol 2000, currency INR, GL account 1,303,000. Like that, you have to assign 50 accounts here. So instead of assigning 50 accounts, right, you can assign 10 pluses. Filling up a amount field, filling up a numerical field with 10 pluses is called masking. So here, why we have to enter 10 pluses? Because the maximum length of the GL account number is 10 digits. That's why we enter the 10 pluses. Clear, no?
Sir, this is Joshna, sir.
Sorry?
Sir, Joshna, sir.
Josna, tell me.
Sir, we have created a term loan account now, sir. Can't we use that GL account for the every term, sir?
No, how it is possible? For every, remember, for every term loan, you have to create a GL account. Compulsory.
Which means 20 term loans, 20 GL accounts.
20 GL accounts, yes, compulsory. Because Loans are different. No, agreements are also different. Banks are different. Remember, even in the same bank, if you have taken 2 term loans, on one term loan, you are paying 10%. On another term loan, you are paying 11%. In the same bank, right? Even
Yes.
then, you have to create 2 GL accounts.
That means for one bank, we are creating one account, sir.
No, not for one bank.
Oh,
For every term loan.
for every term loan.
That's what I'm saying, madam.
Yes.
In the HSBC bank, you have taken 2 term loans. On one term loan, you are paying 10% interest. On another term loan, you are paying 12% interest, right? In that case, you create 2 GL accounts. HSBC 10% term loan account, HSBC 12% term loan account. Got it?
Okay, sir. Then for 12% term loan account also, if there is an installment of 10 times, we have to create
Installment
10
of
term loan 12% account.
Yep. See, every term loan has to be repaid, Amma.
Okay.
Every term loan has to be repaid. That repayment is done in the form of installment only.
Yes, sir.
What's your confusion? I'm not able to understand.
దట్ మీన్స్ ఇప్పుడు ఇన్స్టాల్మెంట్స్ పే చేసే దాని మీద జిఎల్ అకౌంట్స్ క్రియేట్ చేస్తామా లేకపోతే ఒక టర్మ్ లోన్ తీసుకున్నాము ఆ టర్మ్ లోన్ అది అలానే ఉంటుందా అని కన్ఫ్యూజన్ వచ్చింది.
Not like that. See, when you taken one term loan, on every term loan you have to repay installment. Suppose you have taken 50 term loans, maybe every month, maybe a quarter, maybe a 6 months. We have to pay installments on every term loan. But the interval of the repayments may be different.
Sir.
If you have taken the term loan means you have to repay. That's it. You cannot keep it with you.
Sir.
Yeah. And also, see, simply remember one point. For every term loan agreement, you create one GL account. Suppose you have taken 2 term loans from HSBC Bank, on which on one term loan you are paying 10%, on another term loan you are paying 12%. Each loan is supported by one term loan agreement, right? So for each term loan agreement, we create one GL account. Then we have to have the balances in the term loan accounts. So in order to calculate interest, we have to have the balances, right? So term loan receipt, transaction code F-02. So as per our example, we have taken the term loan on 1/4/2022, right? So document date is 1/4/2022. Type is SCA. Company code SSKV. Posting date 1/4/2022. Period 1. Currency INR. Posting key 40. The account is 2,100,000. Click on enter. The amount is 1 lakh. Business area SSKV. Look at the screen, please. Value date is 8/9/2022. So the value date is defaulted as 8/9/2022. How? In the OB/6 global parameters. We have selected define default value date. At that time, I told you, right? By selecting this checkbox, the system defaults the current date as value date. If necessary, we can change it. So the current date is 8th September 2022. So it is defaulted. Now, if you keep this value date as 8/9/2022, what does it mean? What is value date? Can anybody answer this?
So the date when this was posted.
No. That is called posting date.
Realization.
Yeah, please.
It's realization.
Exactly. The realization date, right? It seems that nobody is referring the notes. Remember, please, every day you have to read the notes for the previous topics. What are the topics you have completed every day? Till that topic, every day you have to revise the notes. Only notes only, not the steps. It takes only not more than half an hour. So, value date means expected date of realization of funds involved in the bank instruments. So, when you're taking the term loan, right, the bankers will give us the check towards the term loan, right? So, if you keep this value date 8/9/2022, what does it mean is, even though you have taken the term loan on 1/4/2022, the term loan check was realized on this day. Then system assumes zero balance in April, May, June, July, August, up to September 8th. That's why you have to change the value date here. 1/4/2022. Okay, value date is equal to 1/4/2022. Other things are as usual. Text being term loan received. Text being term loan received. Posting key 50. The account is 100, 300. Term loan account. Term loan account is always credited. Click on enter. The amount is asterisk. Business area SSKV. Value date again you have to change. Value date is equal to 1/4/2022. Text plus. Click on save. Then term loan installment payment. Transaction would have dash zero. So on 1st May, let us assume you have paid first installment. Let us post it. Document date is 1/5/2022. Type is SCA. Company code SSKV. Posting date 1/5/2022. Period 2. Currency INR. Posting key 40. So in the case of term loan repayment, right? Term loan account is debited. 100, 300 account. Click on enter. The amount is 10,000. Business area SSKV. Value date 1/5/2022. Text being first installment paid. Posting key 50. The account is 2,100,000. Click on enter. The amount is asterisk. Business area SSKV. Value date 1/5/2022. Text plus. Click on save. Now calculation of interest. So this transaction code is executed by the end user before paying the installment. Transaction code F.52. So before calculation of interest, let us check the balances in term loan account. See, at the end of the first month, closing balance is 1 lakh. Second month, closing balance is 90,000. Now let us calculate interest and let us see how the system will change these balances. So calculation of interest F.52. Chart of accounts is equal to SSKV. GL account is 1 to all 9s. I don't know how many number of term loan accounts are there. You can give 1 to all 9s. Company code SSKV. Calculation period 1/4/2022 to 30/4/2022. Under output control, select additional balance line. Select additional balance line. Right on. By selecting this checkbox, the system will display all the details of interest calculation, like interest amount, interest rate, etc. Look at the scheme, how to understand the SAP help documentation. See, additional balance line, right? So if you press F1, if you press F1, if you select this command, the program prints the additional lines with the details such as interest rate, interest, or interest calculation numerators, means the amount of interest for each balance line. For each balance line means for each term loan. So this is SAP help documentation, right? But I told you in the normal terminology. By selecting this checkbox, the system will display the details of interest rate, interest amount, right? For each term loan. Clear, no? So SAP documentation is a little bit different. Unless you have the experience of with this software, you cannot understand the terminology. Anyhow, coming back, then select post-interest settlements. Select post-interest settlements. Means the system will post the interest amounts. Then select update master record. Any disturbance is here from my side?
No.
Are you listening any thundering sounds?
No, sir. No, sir.
No,
Sorry? No?
no, sir.
Oh, okay. Zoom has introduced the new feature. That means it is filtering the sounds, right, from the administrator side, but it's not filtering the sounds from the user side, right, attendee side. Previously, when there was a disturbance in the next room also, right, the others who are in the attendee's position, they are also affected. Actually, there are a lot of thundering sounds in place, but you are not listening means it is filtering. Anyhow, good. Update master record, right down there. By selecting this checkbox, the system will update two fields. In every term loan account master record. On which interest was calculated and posted. They are just a minute. They are number one, key date of last interest calculation. Number one, key date of last interest calculation. It is the date. It is the date up to which the interest was calculated and posted. The interest was calculated and posted. Next, number 2. Date of last interest. Date of last interest. It is the date. It is the date on which interest is calculated and posted. So these two fields are updated by the system, right? After calculation of interest, I will take you to the master record. There I will show you the updates, right? Next, session name is equal to RFS ZIS 00. RFS ZIS 00. Here F is missing in the material. Note the session name RFS ZIS 00. It is the name of the program which is executed within the software. Here, the system also creates one batch input session. So, what is the batch input session? What is batch input session, please? What is the batch input session?
It's a group of same type of transaction.
Exactly. Super. So it is a group of similar items for processing purpose, right? So here, what are the similar items in loan accounts, right? The term loan accounts on which interest is to be calculated. These are the similar items, right? So here we have given 1 to all names, right? So between these two numbers, the system will identify only those accounts on which interest is to be calculated. How the system will be able to identify the GL accounts on which interest is to be calculated? In whatever GL account master record, the system finds the interest indicator. The system will take the GL account into interest calculations. So the system creates one object that is called batch input session. For that batch input session, system has taken this name. You can keep this name as it is, otherwise you can change it. Then posting to business area, SSKV. Posting date of session 30/4/2022. Document date of session 30/4/2022. Click on execute. See, interest is calculated. Right? See here. SSKV, company code, interest indicator BD, currency INR, account 1,300,000. Right? Then rate of interest 12%. Amount is 96.30. Number of days 30 days. Valued balance 1 lakh. So on 1 lakh 96.30. So closing balance including interest 1,96.30. If you remember, right, at the time of defining the interest indicator, at the time of second step, prepare account balances, right? We have selected one checkbox, balance plus interest. Because of that selection only, the system is displaying this total. And in the previous screen, we have selected additional balance line, right? Because of that only, the system is displaying the rate of interest, the amount of interest, etc. Here, interest is not yet posted. So in the batch input, here only batch input session is created, that's it. Interest is not yet posted. To post the interest, we have to execute batch input session. To post the documents by executing batch input session. Transaction code you can use, otherwise system, services, batch input, sessions. Select the session RFS ZIS 00. Click on execute process. Select display errors only. Click on process. Here, after clicking on process, please add one step there. Text being interest for April 2022. Text be right down. Text being interest for April 2022. Text is mandatory, no? Next. Again write down. Click on enter. Text plus. Click on enter. See, processing of batch input session completed. Click on exit batch. Now, to verify the terminal account balance, FS10M. The account number is equal to 1,300,000. Company code SSKV. Fiscal year 2022. Click on execute. Look at the screen. Previously, before calculation of interest, as on 30th/4/2022, the balance of loan is 1,00,000 only. Now you have calculated interest. Interest was stated to terminal account. So the total balance as on 30th April 2022 is 1,986.30. Out of which you have paid 10,000 installment, right? In this 10,000, bankers will reduce 986 rupees towards the interest. Remaining amount only will be reduced by the bank towards the principal. See, you have paid an installment of 10,000, right? Minus interest is 986.30. So this amount only credited by the bank towards the interest, towards the principal, right? So out of 1,00,000, this is the principal paid, right? So when you calculate interest for the month of May, the system will calculate interest on this amount. Clear? Next. To see the document posted, go to FB03. Document, if you go to FB03, system takes the document number automatically. See, interest account data to HSBC terminal account. So document date is 30th/4, posting date also 30th/4. Then, to verify the updates in the terminal account master, I told you, two fields are updated in the terminal account master report. Go to FS00. GL account is 1,300,000. Company code SSKV. Go to menu GL account create. Sorry, habitual. Go to menu GL account display. Then go to create bank interest tab. See, key date of last interest calculation 30th/4/2022. Date of last interest on today's date. So this is for the information purpose of the end user, right? The end user can understand that he has calculated and posted interest up to this date. So with every interest calculation posting, the system will update these two fields. So remaining things we will see tomorrow. Probably, actually, in tomorrow, right, in Hyderabad, there is Ganesh Nimajjanam, right? I don't know how far we can conduct the class because there may be a lot of disturbances, right? But we do have the class. If there is a lot of disturbance, I will give you the mail that there is no class. But as of now, tomorrow there is a class. And if you have any questions also, please ask them in tomorrow's class or in the next class.